That should be all it, right? Be all ready. Yeah. Okay, faff about. Good. Hi there. Hope you had a really good Christmas. New Year's Eve. Here we are. It's about 5 o'clock, so just a few more hours to go left of 2025. If I'm honest, as we head into 2026 and I head towards my 61st birthday, that's a bizarre thing to say for me. To be 61. 61 used to be the bus I got to school. That's what 61 means to me. It's a bizarre concept, age. Don't mind being 61, and I've also got, I reckon, 30, 40 years left, so I'm just entering a new phase. This is like a whole new act that I can work on. But I do recognise I don't have the energy and the motivation that I used to when I was in my, say, 30s. So, that's something to be aware of. But you might have lots of energy. You might even be older than me and have more energy than I have, and all power to you. But it does eventually dwindle. I don't like saying dwindle. It's a curve, and it's on a bit of a decline. But when New Year comes around, we're expected to have this new energy and vitality and positivity looking forward to the future. It's some sort of psychological thing. It's a bizarre concept when you think about it, really, but we make resolutions. We plan on what we're going to do over the next year. Most of the time, they're forgotten within days. But we start with all the best intentions, and there's nothing wrong with good intentions. But motivation, I've learned, isn't a personality trait. It's not something that you either have or you lack. It's more like a visitor that turns up once you start moving. You need to really get up off your backside and start doing something first. And then the motivation develops momentum. So yeah, waiting for motivation just to come along is like waiting for the summer before you start walking. I live in Scotland. You might be waiting quite a while before that happens. Of course, it is harder to focus these days. All this, the outside influences that we'd rather not take notice of, but they're right in front of us. We can't help it. The world seems very good at grabbing your attention, but very reluctant in giving that attention back. Staying hopeful can feel a lot less like a mindset and more like a quiet act of resistance. As we get older, and we all do, unfortunately, or shall I say, with any luck, we get older, there's often a sharper focus on health, both mental and physical. Not in a dramatic New Year's resolution way, and I know not everyone watching this has the same focus or priorities, but just in the simple realization that health underpins everything: energy, mood, resilience, creativity. It matters at every age, even if we truly only notice it when we wobble. So, getting things done doesn't require heroic effort. It rarely comes from grand resolutions. It comes from small, slightly unglamorous decisions made again and again. Consistency. Tiny little steps. That's all it takes. 10 minutes instead of none. One step instead of a perfect plan. Progress that may seem meaningless up close, but meaningful over time. And yes, there are limits to it. I mean, there seems to be fewer hours in the day sometimes. Less tolerance for nonsense and stupidity. Sometimes at the supposed highest levels of governance. But let's not go there. No need to do that. But you do gain something as you get older. It's something that does develop. I'm sure this happens with most people, is that you gain perspective, a clearer sense of what actually matters and what can safely be ignored. So as the new year begins, maybe the goal isn't to create a new version of yourself. Maybe it's just a promise to keep the promises to the version of yourself that already exists, gently, imperfectly, and a little bit of sense of humour. So if you'll permit, I want to set us a challenge, me, you, and whoever else you meet, maybe, to, well, I don't want to put pressure on you. I don't want to put pressure on anybody for anything. There's no need for that. But, and it's not a daily duty, not anything you need to feel guilty about if you don't do. But just consider this, just every now and again. When you feel resourced enough, be a messenger of hope. Just a kind word, a steady presence. A reminder to someone you care about that light still exists, even when the headlines suggest otherwise. If enough of us do this, occasionally, not perfectly, not constantly, it will add up. After all, if there are, or I have another 40 years, you have 40 years, you have 80 years, there's time. And if there isn't time, then all the more reason to start now. Happy New Year.